Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened there. My my PlayStation just randomly stopped broadcasting. Maybe I accidentally clicked something on the app. Let me make sure I can hear myself super quick, and then I'll keep going. Yeah, so the package I ordered uh just was lost, and like the last update was like a week ago, so I contacted Amazon and I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So they just got me a refund. I just placed an order anyways, so I mean like today now after I got the refund. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread throughout all of Aviston, including Mendev. Worse, the documents clearly show that their allies, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, pledging their lives to Baphomet, these cultists schemed to subvert the good works of the Crusaders. They caused trouble in Crusaders' camps, instigating fights and egging participants of greater violence. They spread lies and sowed seed of fear with voice sweetened by magic. Some have assumed the role of holy crusaders and risen the ranks of other knightly orders, waiting for the moment when their treachery can be used to achieve a most foul end. Okay. Had infested my native Canabres and were even among the ranks of paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantam- tantamount to desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone. Anivia was eager to destroy the cultists as I was. Anivia and I hurried to Canabres. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultist has infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, the half-orc, smiled warmly. She knew her way around working locks, tailing people, and trading information with city's bottom feeders. Soon we defeated a lot. Yeah, we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its head. Do you know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Oh shit. Can you imagine? While Prelate Holrun was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for the internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the queen, and at first she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me, and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was a commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through its ranks. Ooh, I can't imagine the followers of Zuthon alliance with the demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? They should, but Baphomet's minions are masters of deception. They manipulate Zonkuthon's butchers as eagerly as Iomede's knights. The cultists from that unholy temple didn't know the true face of their associates in Canabras. We ourselves learned the truth much later, after getting to the bottom of their nest. How did people of Canabras feel about your background? True. They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. The Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come from here to fight the demons. Apparently the people were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. Though the locals do have their superstitions, Mendev is a merciless as last wall. They just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers, but where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be on the other side of humiliation, to wipe the spit from your face and suddenly be invited to change position and spit at someone else's. Holy shit, dude. What an experience. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about tieflings. It's true there are many of them among the cultists, and few among our crusaders and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who would be our allies. People shun them, call them a realist spawn, or worse, as if they chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, most only see them as enemies. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all my time in Canabres. So it looks like people kind of still don't like tieflings. Tell me about Anivia. We met in Timon, and I was wandering aimlessly from one ordeal to another. We returned to Canabres together to expose the Templars of Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was the day of our wedding. But Anivia isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. So is she gonna come with me? Okay, thanks for your answer. Thank you for saving her back then. The day Canabras fell before her return, the only thing giving me strength to protect the defenders' part was the hope that I'd see her again. We are in your debt. Okay, you're welcome. Oh my god, okay, tell me about the Eagle's Watch. It was a small order, created to fight not only demons, but also the enemy within. To maintain the purity of the Paladin's ranks, prevent heresy, and identify spies, and it failed miserably at that. The Templars of Ivory Labyrinth infiltrated it and formed their nest within its ranks. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, Anivi and I practically built it from scratch. We got rid of dead weight, people who weren't committed. We organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely. We introduced reliable ciphers. We found Tacit allies around the city, from Crusaders' orders to street beggars. This was my personal crusade to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it, and I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We were so close to driving the cultists out of Canabres, but Erebeth frowns. It's hard to admit, but those successes didn't count for much once the demons entered the city. On the contrary, if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be any headquarters of Defender's Heart. The cultists would have served the city on a platter. Sure. The lines in Erebeth Forest had softened. Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing we achieved something. Thank you. Oh my god, finally. Okay, we're making progress. Let's say because we've talked a ton. I'm gonna grab my drink really super quick. I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Keep going. Um, talk to Sela. Talk to Erebeth. We'll talk to him in a minute. Where's Lon? Let's talk to Lon right now. Lon greets you with a nod. This is the Joker guy. Hopefully he's got some entertaining jokes to tell us. Lon greets you with a nod. Here for a chat? I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you, Lon. Let me guess. Your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? Oh god, he's got jokes for days. You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't all that common on the underground, Lan says. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while and had a chance to learn a couple of things. The language and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams demon and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler, the kind that used to use the dungeons of Canabras to secretly move and store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and then the winners threw the losers down the hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them. Or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he later even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind and then began an honest life together. That's the delightful story of how land came into this world. The next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendev. They're at war against the demons after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasants screaming demon had something to do with it. But maybe dad just couldn't stand alive without the rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? I know that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Canabres, I'll be on the side of the people they're attacking. Lan looks away. We'll call it good. Lan, you're my companion. Companions should trust each other. I'm counting you to give me an honest answer, not excuses. Sure. Dan looks ashamed. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell, take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents, all because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet. No apparent defects, no missing organs or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risk having more children. They thought it would somehow be all right. A growl edges in Lan's voice. I could have had four brothers. The first was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him, for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something, but in the end it was his weak heart that killed him. Oh, that's sad. When there was another pregnancy and birth, I pretended I was sleeping, but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mom moaning, yes. The priest praying? Then I dared to open the door a little and look inside. The priest stood there, very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Holy shit. Lan stops. What the fuck? Okay, please go on. Lan pauses, exhales, and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out that this time Mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the two others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. He didn't want to leave. I could see it on his face, but I think Mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the first crusade stood between them. Not to mention the four dead babies, and old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the surface and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it always haunted me that I'd die in a world where four Crusaders could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, then at least get a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world wound owe me a great debt. The lives of four brothers, all my mother's tears, my father's broken heart, that's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple of demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade if you like. Lan gives you a slanted grin. I used to think that things would be better if I'd never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Why didn't you go up and join the Crusaders before? I couldn't just abandon my tribe. I'm their best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me. But now that the demons have nearly destroyed Canabres and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out just wasn't an option anymore. Anyway, I'm more useful up here than I'm down there. Plus the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been paid. Would you like to find your mother? No. The word flies from Laren's mouth faster than an arrow. Then, after a pause, he continues. I don't want to meet her, not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half elf. Holy shit, he's half. Oh yeah, he does have a elf ear. I don't know how I missed that. I think it's because his half scaly horn thing was distracting. She's barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another. I hope you understand. Damn, that's looking rough. I'm very sorry, truly. Lane smiles, this time sadly. Well, then I'm very lucky. I met someone who's not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to listen to my whining. Your parents' love didn't survive hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. What if you find true love, someone who won't leave you no matter what? And break my beloved's heart when I die in her arms 5 years later? That's a fine thing to do to a person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. Thanks for sharing. Tell me your story again? Why? I wish there was something worth hearing. Well, alright. My mom was. Wait, why is that a new option to say? After that, literally moved here, especially when my mom. Yeah, I already read this. Yeah, it fell apart. We literally just read all of this. Uh, stand left color. Yeah, I got it. Okay, Mongols have short lifespans. But you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? Man chuckles. I'm as old as I look. No surprise. Well, he's half elf, so he should be pretty aged, I guess. Still, he's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was fearless warrior, and day by day, first you miss a shot because you don't see the target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing, then climbing is harder than before. Lane clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in steam, sometimes you catch sight of gray hair, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. Lan takes a breath. My dad kept diaries, marking all the signs, and I saw it too the last year. I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. I don't know who Pharasma is. It's probably a goddess. I want to talk to you about Wunduag, the bitch. Are you sure? Lan sighs. Alright. Alright, tell me about your connection to Wundwag. Wundwag is the evil person that we could have chosen instead of the good person at the beginning of the game. My connection to Wundwag. I mean, where do I start? Lan turns the unexpressive reptile half of his face to you. We grew up together, trained together. She was a chief's daughter. She was groomed to be the best all her life, and then I came along. We were rivals. We dragged each other out of tight spots too. I've always been drawn to grand, heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Wendu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who'd make it through the shield maze, but instead Lan shakes his head. It'd be better if she died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching a friend become a shadow of their former self is unbearable. Dude, yeah, she sounded like she was a nice person. I wonder why she turned, like, super evil. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, but the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth. To admit that she's just a cannibal that demons use as they wish. Lan's frown looks almost like a wince. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I'll never understand what drives her. Were you just friends, or were you more than that? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? That's a fair statement. Lan exhales loudly. There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Windwag knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kind of feelings. That's doubtful. Thanks, I found out everything about you. So can you wear a hat with your old with your one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me well. Lance speaks in deadly serious voice. Alright, finally. Oh my god, that was only the first section. Okay, alright. Next one. Tell me about your people. Oh my god. This guy's got a lot to say. Alright, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Of course, what would you like to know? What's it like living in your caves? Oh, Lane gives you a broad smile. His smile is strange, as it falters where his human features meet his animal ones. Imagine that in an entire world there is only a few hundred like you. There's not an inch of fertile ground anywhere. Now, to grow grain for bread, or cotton and linen for cloth, your neighbors are beasts who want to eat you, or parasites who want to infect you with their larvae, and then eat you. It's not that bad because you can try to eat most of the things that are trying to eat you, sometimes at the risk of getting poisoned, sometimes with almost no risk at all. In the worst years, there's not a single living thing anywhere to be found, predator or prey. That's when you eat mushroom soup. I'd say 3 times a day, but there was barely enough for once every 3 days. Land shrugs. But life underground has its upsides, pun intended. There's no risk of losing the roof over your head. There's no bad weather, not counting the earthquakes, of course. Are you really the descendant of the first Crusaders? More like demon spawn, aren't we? Sad but true. Without the demons, there would be no mongrels. It's the magic of the world wound that affected our ancestors and made their children the way they are. Like most in our tribe, Chief Soul fancies himself a descendant of the underground crusaders. The ones are the ones our heroic ancestors left to guard the caves. I don't know if it's true or not. That angel came to our caves for a reason. Maybe he remembered us. Those were evil and dangerous times after the First Crusade. Hundreds of crusaders began having children, and the babies born with fangs, horns, and warts that covered half their face. People didn't like the new look. The Inquisitors sure didn't, so our ancestors fled persecution and made a home to themselves down there, under the ground. They probably intended to find a cure for their children and hoped to return in time, but it never happened. Instead, the Whirlwind's terrible legacy was passed down from generation to generation. Mongrel parents can only guess what their children will look like. Each of us is born with a new mutation. Many mutations are fatal. Lane stops and goes on quietly. Down in the caves, we usually don't congratulate the family for their birth of a child until they turn at least 3. Most don't even get named before that. There's no point. It hasn't been that long since the First Crusade. Why do you know so little about your ancestors? Our lives are much shorter than most uplanders. Up here, only a few generations passed, and many still live who remember the old Cirque chorus. Uh, okay. As it stood untouched by the demons. Queen Gallifrey, for example, but where we live, mongrels start getting old earlier than humans, much faster, and with more devastating consequences. Few live past 40, and fewer still live long enough to die of old age. Hunger, disease, and monsters from the deep are more effective killers that time. One second, I gotta click here really quick. So for us, the story of the First Crusade is a legend that happened generations ago. There are no living witnesses. We have a tale of the wise and great ancestors who left us to stand guard in the catacombs. But in reality, I suspect they were desperate wretches who couldn't figure out how to dispel the demonic plague and who were abandoned by their own kind. You have a way to tell day and night? You can't see the sun in your caves. Fair, it's a fair question. Every mongrel settlement has a big gong, which we treat like a relic. The gong keeper hits it twice a day to mark the beginning and the end. But this custom doesn't keep time very precisely. Every mongrel child has snuck up to the gong to strike it at the wrong time at least once, just out of pure mischief. Nothing could keep me away from it, not even the fact that I only have one ear, which means it would take double the punishment once I was caught. So sometimes the wrong strikes get mixed in with the right ones, and then the trap can find itself jumping up to greet the morning in the middle of the night. That's kind of inconvenient. Do Mongol tribes fight each other? There were some skirmishes, and I've been forced to kill my kind folk before too. Lan speaks in a steady voice. Fights most often break out over food. We have laws in the cave, written and unwritten rules that we follow. We respect one another's right to live, but the hunger, it can push down a person over the edge. You're the only member of Niathlam tribe to call your people mongrels. Why is that? Because all of Galarian calls us that. I don't see the point of all this hemming and hawing over what we're called. Anyone who finds it offensive or takes issue with it can lead the charge against the name. No one's stopping them, but personally, I'm not going to pick a fight over something as unimportant as a name. Okay, thanks. What do you think of the life on the surface? It must be very different from the life underground. Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to be. It's easier to get good food and water, not to mention build a house and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats or maybe foxes stealing chickens. As for the kind of lives you have, I've heard a story about demon worshippers abducting a whole family and sacrificing them one by one while the others watched. But there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they killed the villains and saved everyone. It's a pretty generic story. And I've heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in a fire, couldn't work to feed his wife and baby. They tried their best and lived from hand to mouth. They were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road, but there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Holy shit. Up here, the same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons, and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Galfrey prolongs her life with sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in her caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws on the surface are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I must be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. That's fair. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much more than I do. Ooh, we got some choices here. I kind of want to be more chaotic. Good, I'd never leave a needy person in trouble. I'd be giving more than most, which means I'm now more able to help others. Lawful, we're in a struggle for our very own survival against the abyss. This is no time to append society. Chaotic, oh yes, I also have a few questions for peakless aristocracy. And evil. Stop whining, I clawed my own way up. Anyone who can't same is just a lazy or weak. I didn't choose what family I was born into, I just lived with what I got. Still chaotic. But I guess they'll have to wait until we drive the demons back into the abyss and close the wound. Lance smile yeah, Lance smiles his strange half smile, which breaks along the border between the two sides of his face. At the end of the day, the world is full of injustice, but it's also full of mad beasts ready to tear us to pieces. You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly did you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me. Lan remarks grimly, then sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons. Then a few demons, then more demons after that. Good honest rage, and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. And life's taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the crusade did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the wardstones. Their actions kept the lands of Mendev safe for decades. That's what I want, for my dumb short life to have meant something. To think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself? Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the Wardstones and flaunt Iomede's banner? Any fool can charge at the front lines of demonic armies and die there. But what good will that do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price, especially if I have to pay for it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else what nutcases we were. I'm not gonna say that, and thank you. Okay, that was everything for him. Jesus Christ. I'm sure they all talk a lot right now because we're getting through all of their initial stories. This is like the first actual place where we've actually gotten to talk to them like about their own lives and stuff. Because when we first met them, we were like in the middle of a cave getting attacked and like everything was falling around us, so there was no time to talk. So this is like the actual first time we're getting to talk to everyone like in the game. I'm sure there won't be as much talking after this whole inn, but at least we're getting it done. We don't have to worry about it later. I think we got a couple more people to talk to, and then we should be ready to go out and hopefully get our party and level everyone up. I would like to at least level before I go to bed. All right, this guy has something, I think. Indira? An imposing young Allred is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging onto her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Gista. The Gista Imperium was the first human kingdom to establish itself in the Inner Sea region after the centuries of darkness and devastation caused by the Earthfall. Its citizens spoke a forgotten language called Gista, whose alphabet became the basis of the alphabets of the modern language of Skald, Varisian, and Taldane. At its height, it dominated all of the northwestern Garand and also parts of southwestern Avestan. Raids of the desert nomads and attacks by powerful outsiders from 33 onward, and the lack of a strong eastern trade route led to the slow decline of Gista. Osirian, then a burgeoning kingdom under the control of the powerful pharaoh Forgotten Plagues, pushed westward and it overthrew the already weakened Gesta, and the Imperium was plunged into numerous succession wars around 2764. from which it was never again able to recover its former political, military, and economic power. Uh, because this military and economic defeat, the important cultural, magical, and technological advances of the Gesta Imperium were largely lost and forgotten. Differences between Gesta legionnaires from the Last War and the Crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag of bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again, why am I supposed to be impressed by your reckless assault where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it is clear that they are captivated by these women's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk whose puffy, black eyes gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. Uh, looks like we got ourselves a student of warfare. Let's say something. The woman gives you a suspicious look and raises an eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements, or to set a fight the way Mendevian crusaders usually do? One of the crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those jests of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we'd never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy his confrontation. The crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. It would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by just top priests, craftsmen, armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with pointed nonchalance. Authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I think we read this one. In a city in the center of the world, metropolis-sized showcase. Cities not only hold key strategic points. And yeah, I think we read that one. The woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Oh god. Okay, who are you? I'm Indara, a warrior, magus. Ooh, a mage. Can we have her join, please? A warrior mage for even that. Dude, I hope she joins us. And scholarly classic warfare from Garund. Yeah, we really need a mage so bad. We need an arcane caster. I admit that the woman peers at you apprehensively, then sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Aveston's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. You've come a long way to be here. I'd like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galarian, and I don't narrowly identify with any other country in particular. Why'd you come here? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence, the crusaders from every continent united by the common goal of defending their home, an epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. The monk with black eye grins and mutters under his breath. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. Oh, the woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person amongst the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? Sure. No, I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Justa. The monk with a damaged eye grins slightly and comments, The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war? Well, I mean, what is this last war that you mentioned? The Last War of Gista, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Assyrian pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Gista Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. Why do you find the Last War of Gista so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey to drop forces on the enemy castle. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loading with a shrieking elemental. Damn, that sounds fucking legit. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jista, the deadly Night Plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its masters wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight or fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares that they made real. How do you know so much about the last war? I can say without false modesty that there is no more authoritative research on Galarian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to this subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a falling sky city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator-class combat golem that guarded a Jista laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jista Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything, I'm telling you. You're wrong to treat the Crusaders with such disdain. Allow me to explain. Oh God, a debate? Oh, I'll be happy to prove that the current conflict can't hold a candle to the last war. Very well. The last war Justa was waged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfect throughout no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Holy shit. Imagine gatekeeping wars. Uh, Compared to the Justa, we are but stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you'll comprehend the true genius of his statement, but here it is nevertheless. A glad fly sees the ox pays no heed to the glad fly, but crimson fever takes them both. Uh, Probably diplomacy, because I think I have hard diplomacy more than anything. The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That is what you fail to grasp. Very nice. The earnestness of the face of those around you has taken away Indara's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over her words. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I'm trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, and particularly the history of warfare, she falls silently, fixedly staring at the unfriendly eyes of her audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. Indara offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact that an evidentiary base that grows even more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the way Crusaders embellished their tales of slaying a single Brimarok by adding a dozen Balors, for example, I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I'm forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusaders? I don't see the point. Your Crusaders appear to be quite confident in your skills. If nothing else, you presented your arguments to me with extreme confidence. Indara unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be used not only for the strong, but also for the wise. Ooh, Claw of Jesta. I would rather have her as a companion, but I guess we can't have her. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I got back to my research. The hint of smile graces Indara's lips when she sees disappointment in the eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe. Oh shit. Well, there she goes. Nice, nice. She has said quite a lot, but let's look at the weapon she gives.
Our time has come.
Is it this one? Yep, here it is. This is a short sword. Flaming enchantment plus one finesse wielding. Straight sword forged by the craftsmen of Garund. The scabbard is decorated with engravings that depict battles between Osiren and the Gesta Empire, copied by Indara's musing embroidered in golden thread. It's got plus one of flaming. Flaming is additional 1d6 on per hit. Well, that's cool. I'll take it. Okay, who the fuck is this little pink guy, dude? Save one more time here. See what this
Together
little
we
guy has to
stand.
say. What is that, a gnome? He doesn't talk. Yeah, he doesn't talk. Okay. I think that was everyone. Oh wait, no, we got one more guy here. We're almost done. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shorn close to his head in a military style. He leans in well. He's lean and well groomed, and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that he Pathfinder Society. Oh, he said the name of the game. He said it. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders. Oh, what's this? Pathfinder Society missions and suggests new places to explore. The most exciting and illuminating of these journals are compiled in the Pathfinder Chronicles, an ongoing series of books that collect the history and mystery of Galen alone. Without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. Sure, tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with a task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Noricyon, capital of the Crusade state of Mendev, okay, with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falran. We soon focused on a small hospital for the wealthy where Falran was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that gang of Baphomet's cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of the Mind, had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people that are weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different, almost normal, but the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all of the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Fallen stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned that the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. Had begun. My hunt had begun. I would get Lori back at any cost. Halo grits his teeth with bulldog determination. I want to know more about you. What exactly are you interested in? I'm a common pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate and my orders brought me to this land. I joined up here. I was working on an assignment in the Pathfinder Society, and then a demon worshipper named Spinner of Nightmares abducted my daughter, Luri. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I became a specialist in scouting demon territory. I've even planted agents among the cultists. Truth be told, in pursuing the Spinners of Nightmares, I've been acting more on the behalf of Queen Galfrey than the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you the rest sometime. Uh, he frowns. This Spinner of Nightmares is true spawn of the Abyss. I fought her many times. but I've never been able to seize her by the throat. I wonder if she's the demoness with no eyes. Tell me about your daughter. Taylor smiled, showing his healthy white teeth. As a girl, Luri was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example, a drifter with a little idea of how to talk to a 10-year-old. But even with such questionable parenting, Luri managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She's always argued with me about everything. When Luri was 18 and told me she was going to be a Pathfinder, all I said was, all right. I knew there was no use to try and talk her out of it, and she was a fine pathfinder. Tyler's fist clenched with a painful sounding crack. I'll never forgive the spinner of nightmares for taking my girl from me. Oh, that's sad. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a global organization that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncover its secrets and travel and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the latter becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and the desire to make the world a better place. And, of course, some seek profit or hunger for glory. But in any case, it's hard work. They might send you anywhere on missions. Weaklings have a little place in the society. It's more of a season for it's for seasoned fighters. There are society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Nerocion. They're each led by venture captains, lads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, the center of the world. The Decemvirate sits there, the anonymous council of leaders. I need a brave and experienced fighters. You can rely on my lads, but I'll have to pay 4,500? What the fuck? What is that? What am I even hiring for? Hold on, I want to see what the options for actually. Ah. Oh wait, this is a new mercenary. This is how you basically just hire a new. I wonder if they stay with you forever. I can make the mage right now. Let's go around first and see if we can. So did he give me my money back? I'm gonna load in case he doesn't. Yeah, hopefully we'll find an actual companion that's a mage instead of having to make one. Okay. I think actually that was also the last guy that we needed to talk to, I believe. There's a couple more things to loot. Okay, we've talked to Anivia. Anyone around here that talks? Nope, 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 nope. Whoa, 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 what was that? Oh, this is a trader guy. Oh, dope sauce. Are you right? Abadar will hold on until the armies arrive. Who are you? Vasali Rathamus, rector of local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's that boy with you? This one? Kiato, the shephherder, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Aristil, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have a lot of them, something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you, guaranteed, no surprises. Or I'd better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old and my powers are needed. Okay, that was quick. What does he got? Let's see. Let's talk to you, sell some stuff. Actually, do we even pick up stuff to sell? I don't think I have any treasures. I think these are all, yeah, they're all reagents or like cooking stuff. Okay, so what does he have? Ooh, he's got how much? 6,000 per roll per scroll of raised dead. Oh my god. Holy fuckeroni. Remove sickness. Might be good. Remove disease. Okay, okay. How much is it? 375. Okay. Oh. This rod grants his will the ability to make up 3 spells it cast extended as though they. Oh, that's kind of cool. 2,500 though. I could have sworn I got a ring from some. Oh, I think somebody is wearing my ring. This is +2 Arcana. And yeah, bonus +2. Okay. Death Ward. I think this, yeah, this helps save against death spells. We're gonna have to probably get that at some point. Arrow of Law. This is just a damaging spell. Bone Shaker. Ooh, restorations. We might get a couple of these. Icy Protector. Hold resistance by 10, and also grants them +2 natural armor. Guardian of Life. As long as the wearer of this amulet is under the effect of Deathward spell, they get +2 morale bonus to AC against the attacks of undead creatures. If they use any single targeted cure wound spells on a target whose current number's HP are less, target is healed for an additional number of HP equal to the number of hit dice. That sounds pretty good. Holy Smite. Ooh, Alchemist Kit. Oh, this... We should buy one of these. Let's buy one. They're only 100. We'll also buy one of these too. And then these are just reagents down here. How many for? I think we have a few. Let's buy a few of these. Buy like 3. Want to bless? No, I already have a lot of blesses. Line weapon good. Delay poison. Resist fire. Undeath to death. Undeath to that destroys undead creatures. It's pretty expensive. Veil positive energy. Greater curse. Holy fuck! This says -12 penalty to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Oh, I'm really nervous for endgame. I feel like it's gonna be really hard. I'm gonna have to think a lot on what kind of stuff I am gonna need to. Yeah, this guy's definitely has some really good stuff. Definitely has good stuff. Just buy maybe like one of these too. Remove disease. Yeah, because it cures all diseases. Yeah, we'll just buy one. Because I still also want to save my money for equipment. How much are we at? 1,000? Oof, it's quite a bit. Now let's actually wait on that one. We'll take one away. 500. That's better. Alright, we'll call that good there. Because I want to find an equipment guy. Kiato's got nothing to say. These guys don't have anything. Talk to this guy. Nothing there. I think that's everyone, guys. Oh, no. One more here. Stoughton. We have to talk to him to continue our quest. Wait, I want to check real quick. What's in the stuff to loot. I think there's one here. Yeah. Some reagents, and then looks like that's everything. So Stoughton should be the last guy to talk to. And there, we're good. Do a quick save. Alright, Stoughton, here we go. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel on one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the great garrison. Name's Stoughton Vane. If you heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? Ooh, the storyteller. Stoughton strokes his beard and thought. A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible. But later, I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too. So if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there all day and night. So we got a library unlocked. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor as bad as Aruli Vorlesh. He's the guy that started the World Wound thing. That I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of condemned. Military unit made of petty criminals. That Queen Gallifrey should never have spared that I belong in the gallows. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Sutton gives you a long morose look and sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusades forces are holed up in their fortress on the edge of the world wound. Instead of bringing the fight to the demons, we used to have a foothold in the wound. The mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemies our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I lived. Decade after decade, fighting in the condemned, the dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing. I have earned no one's forgiveness. And you going to spit on my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. We've done a bunch of chaotic. Maybe we should do like one lot to kind of, or maybe a good, to kind of balance it out. You keep living and fighting with no hope or anything better because of that. That's what the queen ordered you to do. There's no honor in that. I hope you earned forgiveness. Let's do that one. Thank you. From the depth of my soul, I thank you, but I haven't had hope for a long time. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from his beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Joran. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're going to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the thousandth time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Jordan, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters and the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not stunted. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She has had me mud-flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you have paid your penance by now? That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then trembling in his voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priest, countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the Father of Dwarvenkind would answer my prayers just once, not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems that she doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't even think I deserve redemption? Okay, that's it. Go then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Alright, that wasn't too bad. It's pretty short. And we've officially talked to everyone, and that took us like 2 hours. Holy shit. God damn. Alright, we got. Wait, should I rest it? No, no, no. Let's put some stuff away. Let's put this shirt sword away. This pause fear. Okay. This gives me. I wonder if this is permanent. Uh, yeah, I think that's it for now. I think I'm pretty light, right? Yeah, I'm pretty light. Okay. Okay, let's see if we will start getting companions now. Oh, look, Camellia is back to her old self. She's not a giantess anymore. Let's do another quick save here. Okay, are you guys gonna join me, please, so I can level you guys? Hmm. Hello? Ah, damn it. Still not with me. Let's do that. What's this? Within Sanctified, I can protect the area around it from corruption of the abyss. Oh, okay, so it just means I can, like, rest here, I guess? Let's go check up here, see what's up here. Hmm. Some loot, I'll take it. Anything else around here? Can I just jump off? No. That'd be cool, though. Alright, walk, 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 walk. Walkeronies. I want to double check my journal. Holy fuck, yeah, we got stuff for days. This is literally the beginning of the game too. We have so much stuff to do. Alright, we're good. But like I said, I'm not in a rush to finish this game, so I don't mind a lot of content. We're gonna get some voice acting, maybe? Commander, look what we got here. Are you too mad? Whatever possessed you to steal the gem golem from the Tower of Estrad's museum? Explain yourself. We didn't steal nothing. Commander, we saw some looters dragging it down the street and recaptured it. Now this is ours. That shiny fowl belongs to the treasury, and Enderline alone is worth more than the castle. Oh, I really don't like... God, cannot read fast enough. And Jordan, see to that no one lays as much of a finger on the golem or plucks a single gem. And same goes for you. Oh my god, dude. Cannot read that literally fast enough. Dumb. Oh, wait. Can I read it here? Yeah. The same goes for you too. Your new mission is to guard this shiny fella, as you called it. Sorry, I'm eating Tappy at the same time. Can we talk about it? Sorry, one sec. I'm almost done chewing. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Prestige de Painter Golem. The magnificent and glittering golem, encrusted with gems and covered in intricate flowery embossing, triumphantly exclaims, "Happy to be of service. May Shaylin brighten and vivify your day." Half-sister of the evil Zonkulan, promotes creation of art, composition, and performance of music. She's not goddess of sexuality, lust, or fertility. She draws a very clear distinction between love and sexuality. What are you? I'm a precedented painter golem. Many millennia ago, I was built by Islanti clerics of Shaylin, the goddess of beauty, to make the world a better place. In my joyful service, I have visited many lands, and for the past few centuries, I have resided at the Temple of the Sunrise, Chrysanthemums, chrysanthemums and the Tiaxia. But then the good clerics saw fit to offer me as a gift to the Mendevian Crusaders, so they could share it in beauty I can create. Can you do anything helpful? My creators granted me the ability to place illusions on various items. I can change their color and texture to make them more beautiful and appalling to the eye. Would you like me to cast an illusion over your armor and make it green? Green is a very pleasant color, and it would match your eyes. Whoa. He's like a mogger. Transmogrifier. How'd you end up here? I was in the Tower of Estrad Museum, but then some not beautiful people came and started smashing everything. I asked them to show their strength, and that's when they decided to steal me. After all, I am beautiful and very valuable. They dragged me down the street, but I didn't want to go with them, so I kept stopping. The least beautiful of my kidnappers threw me over his shoulder and tried to run away with me, but I'm very heavy. So this back made so his back made a very not beautiful crunching sound. He started yelling, and then everyone else started yelling. And some of that yelling was directed at me, and then they started hitting me with not beautiful weapons. And then some good crusaders drove them away and brought me here. And now I've been lumbered with you. Waste of good metal, you are. And instead of working, I'm supposed to keep an eye on you so no one is tempted by a walking treasure trove. What can you do to help the war effort? I was not designed for any type of combat. Yeah, I can bring beauty and harmony to any type of combat. I want you to cast an illusion on my gear. Oh, it is like transmogrifying. Yeah, I can change it into other stuff, I guess. Transferring item. I mean, no, it's not gonna really have anything. This is that one armor.
I stand
Yeah, I don't
ready.
need to change anything. He doesn't have anything new, does he? No. Does he have something new? He does. A grizzled dwarf turns a blade into his calloused hand, carefully inspected its edge. When he sees you when he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside to greet you with a nod. A new face in the city. You picked a good time to come to Canabras. As you can see, we're in store of need warriors. Do you know everything in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my services. A blacksmith's work isn't just an anvil, you know. It's hard to notice. It's hard not to notice your kind. Asimovs aren't all that common around here. Apart from Remian, the prior of the Temple of the Desna, a spiritual fellow, if a bit woolly-headed, and there's also that Count something or other, some muckety-muck, not the type to visit a smithy person. Oh, he's a smith. Are you Stoughton's Van brothers? Yep. Where he goes, I go. That's how we've always done it, even before the world wound. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it, he brings it back to me, and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but at part that has stayed the same. How was Stanton to blame for the fall of Dresden? I've told this story so many times already. Well, telling it one more time won't kill me. Blacksmith sighs. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking, and that the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of Old Sarkoras was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on all of our hopes, and on Mendiv's ambition, though you're not supposed to say that out loud. What city it was, Lance, you can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers from Five Kings Mountains. Queen Gallifrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all Galarian. Heroes were drawn there to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Haldor, Garund, Tiaxi, I couldn't list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there. The banner had been carried into battle by Iomade herself, back when she was still human. That banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in place, Dresden was invisible, or so we thought, invincible. But then the world wound suddenly expanded. The demons launched a new onslaught and folks started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable, until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place was on the battlefield. She whispered honeyed words about glory and valor, and convinced him that he would be a hero as a great Iomade herself. And the poor believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the city gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden, and it was a bloodbath. Jordan solemnly shakes his head. Mm. As you can guess, that officer was called Stantonbane, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Minago. Oh, the demon was that chick without the eyes. That's why she knows her. That foul wretch. She's given us a lot of grief in Canabras. Just don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trysts with that beast, and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. The blacksmith gestures as to ward off the inevitable reprobation. Who could have guessed it would have ended like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day looking at his plight, so that's his story. Why do you have your forge here in the tavern yard? Whenever I am, that's where my forge is. A true master of any craft will always find the tools it needed. I miss my old forge, of course. It's it's now just a pile of charred stone and metal, but I've still got my hands, and that means I can work. Ooh, show radiance to Jordan. Do you recognize this sword? Do I recognize it? Of course I do. I made this with my own hands. There's my brand, see? The dwarf carefully takes the sword in his hands, gazing at it like a doting father. Oh, Yanni things have been tough without you. But at least we got your sword, that's something. Jordan returns the sword to you. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted. They break, but sometimes a weapon can preserve. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm no authority on these things, but something like an echo of deeds done with that weapon. Or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul. I don't know. I will say one thing. Take care of that sword. Yanni may no longer be with us, but the demons will still remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see radiance. Wait, so he can he charge it or something? Or repair it? Ooh, this scabbard's all worn. We can't be having a fine sword like that being carried around in this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again and I'll have it ready, no charge. So we have to come back when we save Canabras. Let's see, got anything good? Uh, +1 enchantment. Uh, oh, we got a shield. We got an upgraded shield. Buckler. +1 enchantment. I could give one of these to, I don't know. I want to do the duelist thing for. I'm still debating on if I want to do a like a dual wield with what's her name, Camellia, or if I want her to go like the archetype like duelist or something like that. I kind of want to. I think that that would be more interesting. Attrition dagger. This is just a +1 bonus enchantment. Heavy crossbow. Great. Throwing hand axe. Light of hammer. Light hammer. Deals an additional 1 damage on a hit. I mean, he's got some cool stuff. Is that it? Is everything else just... Yeah, I need to get one of these. I wonder if, oh man, I should have fucking kept one of the, because didn't I find like a masterwork cold iron dueling sword at some point? Devastating blow from the above. Oh, while mounted. It's a masterwork composite longbow. Ooh, we could buy this and give it to our guy. Because I think I only have a regular longsword or a composite longbow. Yeah, once we get our companions back, we'll come back and see if we can get some upgrades for them. I think the only thing I might want though is a shield upgrade, right?
Let us not hesitate.
What's my shield right now? It's a heavy shield, +2, 2 base armor, -2 check. Can we get like a helm and some boots? And actually, yeah, can we get any of that? The shield is 1,000. It is +3. It's got an enchantment. Let's get it. This helm, oof. This helm grants the wearer damage resistance 3, but the wearer suffers penalty to perception skill check. Dude, fuck that. We got any boots or anything? Wait, living ram, what is this? Interesting. +4, bonus to sneak attack. Smasher. Oh, necrotic, it does bane. Merry-go-rounder. Whenever this misses, the next attack roller makes no matter if it hits or misses. It deals. Oh, this is fucking good. compared to how many misses we encounter, it's pretty good. Yeah, so 'cause it says whenever this +1 heavy flail misses an attack, the next attack its wielder makes, no matter if it hits or misses, deals additional 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Considering how many misses are constantly a thing, this is fucking good, dude. Man, I wish somebody could one of our party dudes had flail. I would totally get that. It is really expensive though. I think the only thing I want is just this
I will
shield.
not falter.
Let's give it to our main character here. There we go. I guess we could sell the other one now. Wait, didn't we get some stuff upstairs? We did. Here we go. Uh, Basement. Area exit. We'll grab that loot. Join. Area exit. Alright, I think I'll finish up just exploring the rest of this map, and then I think I'm gonna go to bed. We didn't get to level tonight because I wanna level while I have my full party, so I can level everyone at the same time. Because if we also have something that's like a teamwork feat, I would like to try to coordinate it at the same time. Yeah, there's nothing here. Can I jump off? No. Where's the other thing to loot over here? Okay. Over here, I think I saw it. Yep, right here. Bunch of stuff we could sell right away. Uh, where is it at? Oh, they were mostly treasures. Or, there were a lot of reagents, I mean. Wait, besides this. That I can sell. The kit. The reagents. I think that's it. Oh wait, I can sell that. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. Wait, basement. What's this? Oh, something. Uh-oh. What's this? Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Amity, protect us. Haha, I got you again. How many times is that today? What the fuck? Take your jokes and show 'em, tiefling. Ooh, I wonder if we got a tiefling. Oh, easy there, chief. Don't hit me. We're gonna get a rogue. Gonna get a potential companion, maybe. Yeah, a bunch of stuff to loot here. About to. He's gonna like let us rob them. Okay. Wolfjiff. Wolfjiff? What did that do? Is this? Is this? Oh. Oh. First aid kit? Yeah. It's like it's something. I don't know what it does. All right, I think it's time for bed. I gotta work tomorrow as usual.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something
No,
really
no, you don't.
important.
I'll do this talk tomorrow. All right, thanks for. I know that was kind of a boring episode. I hope unless you're like reading along with me, then I hope you're enjoying that part. But I'm sure we'll finally get to maybe some more combat and then level up our guys tomorrow. I'll finish talking to this guy tomorrow as well. I gotta go to bed, so I hope everyone has been having a good day and have a good rest of your night. Peace.